So today we're doing an event. We've themed it Empowering Men. As a business school, we think it's important to take care of men as an important stakeholder. And we're very intentional about when we do this. We're doing it during Women's Month to send a message, a very strong one, to ourselves as men, that for society to work properly, we need to step up and really support our counterparts and our fellow stakeholders, women.
So we have programs that we have packaged intentionally so to ensure that they contribute to the well-being, overall well-being of employees of UNISA, and just to make sure that we align, to the need for people to be happy beings whilst at work, so that they can be able to contribute to the bottom line of the employer.
I saw my dad going through a lot, raising a young man like me. That I'm talking about men being absent. Sometimes when I look at my situation and look at some of my friends, they were raised by mothers. I was raised by a man. I have a different perspective of what's it like being raised by a single man. Statistically in South Africa, a large proportion of societal issues are surround men and masculinity. So men in terms of how they lead at work, how they lead at home, how they lead amongst their friends, and also how they involved in their community. So we find that a lot of issues, societal issues, are surrounding men.
So some of the pressing issues that are facing men is that men are not coping. The indication from the suicides that we are seeing committed by men, it's a clear indication that men are not coping. Men are not talking. No one knows what's going on inside the mind of a man. Men are resorting to negative reactions: alcohol, drugs, violence. So all of that gives us a picture of a man that's not coping.
How many of us have our spouses come to us and say, "Hi, Mara, you're not providing 1, 2, 3 for me. I expected you to protect me from 1, 2, 3. Hi, Mara, your performance work-wise, in the house, in the bedroom, is just not up to standards." Men have never been given the skills of how to deal with pressures and how they deal with stress and anxiety and depression. And so the talk was basically just to say, how do you recognize that I have a problem? Who do I go to? Where do I start? And then how do I know that, okay, now I'm in a good place, I'm in a safe space?
So we started with doing this event to really challenge men, to say, come out of the cocoon, build a network around yourself, to see how we can support you, to see how we can help you to cope in the world.
Sometimes our financial habits come from how we relate with money, or how we learned to relate with money in our childhood. So I would urge you to reflect on that. Reflect on how did your parents speak about money? How did your family deal with money? And how do those behaviors influence how you spend your money, how you save your money? And then, because some of us are parents, the challenge then is to say, how do you want your children to speak about money, to relate with money? And how can you teach them today, by being an example, by having conversations with them? How can you teach them to relate better with money?
One of the things that in our reflections with some of the staff is to say, we're not doing enough. We can't do this once a year. Let's increase frequency. And we think that will be a right way to go, where we can offer more programs of this nature so that we touch base sooner and we are able to respond with more agility and more effectively to make sure that our staff gets support throughout the year. So it's one thing that is at the top of our head, to say, how do we improve pastoral care to make sure that our staff at any point when they're facing issues, they can consult with someone on financial issues, on fiscal issues and so on. So the feedback has been very, very, very great.